Hello everyone, today we are going to be working in Pages to create a digital scene with PNG images and layering. So let's start by opening up our Pages, and then we're going to create a blank document. And you'll notice I'm going to change it to full screen so it's easier to see. Then over here on the right I have a format box that is automatically open. If yours is not, I do suggest opening it up because it will make manipulating images a lot easier. Then the first thing I do is I start by inserting a shape by going to shape and double clicking on the square, and this is going to replicate my card front so I can physically see the parameters that I'm going to keep my scene building within. So first thing I'll do is change it to no fill. I'll add a line border, and 5's a little thick, so I'll work with a 1. And then I'm going to go to arrange and change the size. I'm working with a standard A2 card for the US, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and then you just hit enter. And now here is my parameter box, and I'm going to move it to the middle, and we can start building our scene within it. I'm going to insert images by going up to media and selecting choose. And then here's where you're going to locate where your images are located on your computer. I know that mine are on the desktop in this little princess folder, and here are all the images located within it. You'll just click on an image and hit insert, or just double click on it. You can also click on an image, hold down the shift button, and begin selecting multiple that you can insert at once. It does get a little clustered on the screen, and if you wanted to insert, say, Princess Marguerite plus these three up here, once you click on her, it's going to fill everything in between. So to do that, you would have to do 2 inserts. For the purpose of this tutorial, I'm going to start off by working with just one image at a time so it doesn't get too cluttered up. And I will start with the Princess Path because I know that's going to be the bottom layer of my background. I'm going to insert it, and you'll notice it comes up with a bounding box, and by clicking on these little squares you can resize it, and I'll fit it up into this box we've created. And you'll notice, unlike in Word, you don't have to right click and wrap text to be able to move an image. You can just freely move it to begin with, which is nice and easy. So I have it located there, and you'll also notice that while resizing, no matter what one I do, it stays proportional, and that is because I do have this constrained proportions selected, so I can't slip while moving the mouse and accidentally make it a little unproportionate. But if you click off of it and then say we grab this little bottom one and you lift up, you're going to kind of squish your picture, which is perfectly fine. You can definitely play around with other sizes for your images, but for this purpose I am going to keep it proportional and click that constrain proportions. Now let's go up and insert media, choose, and I'm going to add the Princess Castle because I know that's going to be in the background as well. I'm going to move it up here, and then I'm going to click on this little arrow and change the size. I'm going to want it in the back, far back, so I'm going to make it pretty small and fit it right there with the path. That looks good. And then you can also use this little format box if we want to flip it. You'll notice right down here there's a flip it right or up and down. So this one, you click it, it's going to change it so it's now flipped to the right, or if you click it again, it's going to switch it back to facing the left. Up is of course going to change it so it's looking down, and click it again and it's now facing up. Same with the background. This little sideways arrow is going to flip it either left or right, or up and down. So that is how you're going to flip and rotate the images. And now I am going to go back up to media, and I'm going to choose. I'm going to start inserting some princesses. So let's select Cordelia, and I'm going to hold down the shift button and also select Gwendolyn. Then I am going to insert them. And then you'll notice that they come both highlighted, so when you click on one, the other moves with it. And it's easy to fix. You just click off the little screen. They're no longer highlighted. Click on one and you can move her and easily move the other one as well. So let's click and move them, resize them, put them down here in the front of the path. And you're going to notice we have our two little princesses, and Cordelia is in the back. She's going to be covered by Gwendolyn a little bit, but let's say we want to move her in front. And how you're going to do that is the easiest way are these backward and forward buttons on this format section. Backward moves her back one. You'll notice she went behind the castle. If you did backwards again, she's now in back of the pathway. Forward moves her one forward, and then move her again forward, and she's now in front of Gwendolyn. If you did right click and send to back, it's going to send her all the way to the back, and if you select front, it's going to just automatically move it to the very front. So that one has a little less options and it takes more steps and playing around with it to get it perfect, have the way you want it. But backward and forward are very nice buttons to have. And so we have our princesses. We've shown how to flip them, and you can also rotate by playing with the arrow button. And we've done front and back and resizing. So I think we've gone over pretty much the basics, and we have this nice little scene created. I'm going to go ahead and click on that rectangle we created for my card front, and I'm just going to click on it and hit delete. We don't need it to print. Now I'm going to click and select all. You'll notice the background didn't get selected, so just hold down shift and click on it as well. I now have everything selected. I'm going to click and move it. And then I'm going to right click and I'm going to group them so that I don't have to worry about having everything selected. I'm going to right click again. I'm going to copy it, and then I'm going to right click and paste. And now we can create multiples of the same scene to color, or we can also fill the whole page up going to media, choose, and let's insert a couple individual princesses for coloring. And I'll hold down the shift button and select both of them, insert them, click off of them, start arranging them. I'll resize her, put her in this corner, and then I'm going to click on her and move her down below while resizing. And now when you go up to File and Print or Control P, you'll now have a page full of digis, a couple scenes, and a couple individual items to work with. And that's about all for the basics. If there's anything I missed or something you want to see, please let us know and we'll work on another tutorial for you. Thank you for joining us. Bye.